What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm headed back into the Great League where I wanted to try out another Mimikyu team. Now, last time I used Mimikyu, it was right when it first got released. A lot of people are trying to hard counter it, or there are just people using it everywhere. So now that it's going to settle down, the meta has been put into a bit of a better place. I do want to see how strong Mimikyu is actually. I'm going to pair it up with Jumpluff as well as Empoleon. This looks like a fun team. I'm excited to see it in action. But real quick, before we get into the battles, I do want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the battles and see what Mimikyu can do. Mimikyu into Malamar. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. I know that Malamar does have a lot of fast attack pressure against us here, saying they do have Psy-Wave. But the thing is, they can't really do a lot to us because of my shield, at least not initially. I think I'm going to just take a shield advantage out of this, and then go for an attack here to get a shield from them. I have two things in the backline that can very much handle a Malamar, so I'm really not that concerned about this Pokemon. I'd much rather just leverage energy and shields for the backline. We'll go for the Shadow Sneak now. Oh, nice catch by them. But as I was saying, I'm really not that scared of Malamar this game. And if I'm being honest, it's not like Empoleon one-shots with a Hydro Cannon here anyway, so maybe that chip damage could be pretty good. I don't think they got a sneak on the catch, so they should just be 8 away from their move. Yeah, looks like it. They would survive the Hydro Cannon, so what I'm going to do here instead is I'm just going to build up to 100 energy before I throw, because Quagsire is such a slow Pokemon. They might bait us, they do. But that doesn't really do much. That's just a pretty small bait in the grand scheme of this matchup. We'll go for the Hydro Cannon now, and this should be able to get a knockout from this range, at least close to it. I don't think they get to an Earthquake against us. Big Hydro, big No Shield, yeah, okay. What's going to come back in? Probably the Malamar, if I had to guess. But I have a lot of energy still on my Empoleon here. And Mimikyu's also, I mean, still pretty healthy despite not having a disguise. All right, Hydro Cannon coming through. This should get a pretty easy knockout against him, so likely we get a shield from them right now. But I think what I want to do is I probably just want to save my Empoleon, right? Because at this point, it's likely good in the backline. I can bring in my Mimikyu here and force some energy out of him. So now they're forced to throw against Mimikyu. I can let this go. I have 4 Metal Sounds of energy on my Empoleon. I can bring in my Jumpluff eventually. And now that Clodsire is out of the way, I'm hoping that Jumpluff is a little bit more flexible in the backline. And even if it's not, just dancing around a little bit here and saving the energy on Empoleon is probably also a good thing. All right, Jumpluff, we'll bring you in to wall off the energy if possible. They're staying in, which is actually kind of interesting to me, because, man, I don't think this is that good of a matchup for them. There's a Tinkaton in the back line. Good to see. Acrobatics here, just to try to stall the switch clock a little bit. If I can switch back into my Empoleon at any point, I'd be pretty happy. Okay, and we get the Hydro Cannon off. That's all I could really ask for at this point. They're at 6, so they have a Bulldoze +1. I should get to a second Hydro Cannon, though, before they're able to get to their next Bulldoze, because I win CMP. They're going for the Bulldoze here. Not going to quite knock us out. They could debuff us, which would be, like, slightly inconvenient, but it wouldn't be that bad. Big Bulldoze. Yeah, we do get debuffed, but yeah, as I said, not the end of the world to get debuffed in that matchup. I'll go for the Hydro Cannon here. They have another Bulldoze ready to go, but they have to throw it before I farm them down, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it pretty soon. And I'm fine with Malamar coming in, honestly, because they're basically in Energy Ball range on the Tinkaton right now. And I mean, I could also just shield this up and save a bit of my Empoleon left over this game. That way I have energy on Empoleon, energy on Jumpluff, and they do throw instantly here, which means now they're going to be energy dry. They need to do way too much with Tinkaton, because not only do they need to go for a Foul Play, they need to go for a Gigaton Hammer. And Gigaton Hammer can never be stacked up with a Bulldoze, so they're never going to have enough energy to knock out both of my Pokemon this game. We'll just go for the Energy Ball. I think from this range, this should just be enough. They top left. Let's go. GG's. We'll see Mimikyu into Azumarill. Okay, I'm actually kind of interested in this matchup because I know it's not unplayable for us here, right? But it's not necessarily the best spot for Mimikyu to be either. I'll go for the Shadow Sneak just to try to dance around a little bit here. I would love to be able to get a catch at some point and catch an Ice Beam on Empoleon if that's at all possible. Honestly, that does a decent amount of damage. Okay, well, good patience by them. I guess we bait out an Electrode here. 7. Alright. This is going to be an interesting spot to be in. I don't know how I like this. Empoleon's actually not unplayable here, though. Because if they go for Energy Ball, I survive. And if they go for Wild Charge, they debuff themselves. I'm going to shield this just because I want to take it to the 2s. Hopefully no Energy Ball. Energy Ball is such a misplay if they go for that. Okay, good. They go for the right play. And now we should be able to force a second move out of them, but now they could go for the Energy Ball. They do have a lot of energy on Ozum. I wonder what moveset they're on. There's a chance they're not even running Ice Beam. Yeah, we'll catch the Energy Ball. Well, I wanted to catch a second before then, but it looks like that was actually the right play, because they misplayed and thought that he'd win CMP against us. But this should be an Energy Ball. There's no reason to Wild Charge here. Nice. So we save a lot of energy. Oh, and they come back in Ozu? Interesting. We save a lot of energy on Empoleon, and I mean, I'm fine with Ozu coming back in here. I still have my Mimikyu shield intact. Ice Beam is not a one-shot, and we should be able to just go for an Energy Ball here. Bit of a miscount by me, though. I kind of thought that they weren't there. I should have gone for the CMP. Does Jumpluff even win that CMP, though? Maybe it doesn't. Anyway, we have back-to-back Energy Balls now. I hope this knocks out, but there's a chance it doesn't just because Ozu is such a bulky Pokemon. It is super effective Energy Ball. It's a pretty good move, but it's not, like, the best move in the game. 3 Fairy Winds. Nice, big farm down. Now we have an Acrobatics here in case that Electrode comes in. Or if it's Furret, I guess we still want to Acrobatics that. We have a Hydro Cannon or a Drill Peck loaded in the back line. I think I'm going to bring in my Mimikyu here now, because we still have that shield left over. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, really? Are they going for a Trailblaze, potentially? I guess they could do that if they want to break the shield. And, like, also boost their attack. But I think it's a Swift's probably the play, because, I mean, I Mimikyu. I have a free shield here. Okay. I think we're fine, because I have that Hydro Cannon, right? So as long as I land a Poliwrath into them, they should be in Hydro Cannon range. Not falling for that catch was huge. I was kind of wondering if they were going to want to clear their debuff, or their boost, rather. I'm kind of surprised they did, if I'm being completely honest. But it's fine. I think we're good now. We have the Poliwrath. We have a Hydro Cannon. We just go for the combo play, and that should win it for us. I think they probably should have gone for a Swift against us then, the way they played this out. But you know what? I guess we'll take it. Hydro Cannon is going to knock out the Furret, and we get a 3-ball flex, but that was kind of an uncomfortable game, not going to lie. Oh my goodness, Melmetal, that's kind of scary, actually. I know it's not unplayable for Mimikyu, though. Like, it's deceptively good for us, just because we have that third shield ready to go. They overfarm a little bit, just in case I wanted to catch, but the thing is, like, what am I going to catch on, right? I could catch on Empoleon, I guess, but then I'd be in a spot here where if they call that, I get Dynamic Punch in just one shot. I don't really want that, if I'm being honest. They're at 8 right now, so they have another double Iron Bash. We went for a CMP here. I have my Shadow Sneak. Let's see if we get a shield or if they let it go. They do shield. Okay. You know, it might be a bit of a crazy play, but I'm really not that scared of this Melmetal. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. I'm letting this through, and I'm actually just swapping into Empoleon right away. This way, now I can get an energy lead here, and I would imagine this has to be their answer to Empoleon, right? Like, there's no way there's a worse matchup in the backline, right? They could double Iron Bash bait, but I'm hoping they don't. If they do, they can outpace us to the next move. If they don't, I can CMP a Hydro Cannon now. So this should be a pretty good spot to be in. We're back-to-back. Good catch by them, though. That is a very smart play. Now they've saved a double Iron Bash. Now I'm actually scared again of that Melmetal. They shouldn't have done that. I don't like them. Oh, Shadow Wall. That's cool. But, I mean, I need to, I guess, bait this out, too. Because my Jumpluff's not the best against this, either. They do have a Sky Attack ready to go right now, but I have back-to-back Drill Pecks. Gotta go for a catch. Okay. They actually, I mean, I don't know if this is a catch or if they just wanted to snipe us down anyway when I brought in Mimikyu, saying they are on Dragon Breath. But either way, I mean, I'm fine with that. Oh, they Flamethrower? Well, that is a catch, then. That definitely is a catch. Okay, we have double Hydro Cannon here. I'll go for it against the Altaria just to guarantee that if they went for, like, a catch on Melmetal, that I'd still do a lot of damage. And I think at this point, honestly, it's throwing double Iron Bashes against us for our Jumpluff. Maybe it's not the worst matchup in the world. I'll go for the Hydro Cannon. If I could switch out here, that would be great, but I don't know if I can quite yet. Can I? It'll be not, like, instantly, but I will be able to before they can farm us down. Which hopefully is good. Yeah, start spamming double Iron Bashes, Trainer. It's not that good of a move. And I do still have a little bit of my Empoleon left over, so maybe I can get some more use out of it later on. We'll see. Yeah, that is nothing. Oh, Malamar in the back line. Okay. You know, I don't think that Acrobatics one-shots here. So I think the play is just double Energy Ball. Maybe I'm crazy, though, but I think that's what I want to do. Because I think Empoleon might even just survive the Thundershocks to get to another move anyway in the back line. We'll see. Big double energy ball. First one's not going to knock out, but the next one definitely will. Honestly, maybe an acro could have been enough. But I didn't want to risk it, because if I dump a full acrobatics there, and it's not enough to knock them out, they get another move, that could be bad. But they can't Thundershock down our Jumpluff right now. I overfarmed enough that I'm only 4 away from my next move here. Although, man, I don't know if Energy Ball knocks out the Melmetal. Maybe I should have switched. I need this plus 1 Metal Sound to be enough. Uh-oh. And it's just not. Misplay. I misplayed that so hard. I should have just switched to my Empoleon. Maybe they only have double Iron Bash here, though. They dynamic? Are they a back-to-back dynamic? They must be. But even double Iron Bash is probably enough. That's a throw by me. I should have just swapped out and not given the farm down over. Oh, yeah, double dynamic. That's going to knock us out. That's on me. I could have won that game so easily if I just would have swapped into my Empoleon, but I had too much faith in Jumpluff. Okay, Forretress. I wonder if it's on Volt Switch. It is. Makes sense. I think here in a Mimikyu meta, you kind of want to be on Volt Switch because Bug Bite would do nothing here, and the pacing is so bad. We'll just go for the Shadow Sneak as quickly as we can. Our backline's not the greatest against Forretress, so seeing this here is not bad at all, but they built up to 4, so I wonder if they're going to go for, like, a Rock Tomb even. But I would be surprised if they did that, because Rock Tomb would get an instant shield. So it's probably just a Sand Tomb. Oh, it is a Rock Tomb. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I already landed my Shadow Sneak, so I'm fine getting debuffed. Maybe it's on Earthquake. I don't know. I should just outpace now to the next Shadow Sneak. I don't know what's happening right now. Shadow Sneak should be able to knock him out despite that debuff, so I'm not sure what they're going for here. We'll see. Shadow Sneak, yeah, it gets a shield. Okay. I mean, this is probably a Rock Tomb now, right? Like, I honestly don't have an easy way to finish this off in the backline, but I feel like, oh, that doesn't even knock us out. That's incredible. Anyway, that's, like, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm just going to build up a lot of energy here with Jumpluff, and then build up a lot of energy with Empoleon. I think that's the best play. These Fairy Winds are actually chunking quite a bit. Non-stab Rock Tomb's not going to do that much to us. I'll let this go. And then we'll see what they want to do here. Did they give us the full farm down? Okay, they get to another move. That's fine. We have so much energy here. And we'll see what they're going to throw. Is this a Rock Tomb or is it only a Sand Tomb? They do have Sand Tomb. Dude, why? I'm so confused this game. What comes in? I probably don't want to stay in against most things I could see. Yeah, Licky Licky, that'll be fine later on after my debuffs are cleared. And it's also just really good for Empoleon. They're staying in because it could be... Honestly, I think Carbink could be in the back line with a team like this. Either Carbink or maybe Marowak. I could see either one. They body slam bait. Okay. 2, 3, 4. So they have another Shadow Ball now. But, I mean, I think at this point, I have so much energy on Jumpluff. Even if it is like a Carbink in the backline, I'm in a really good spot. 5. I wonder if it's on Earthquake. I've seen a few Earthquake Licky Lickies in my day. But it could just be someone trying to freak me out here. They shield that up. They're scared of Empoleon. 6. Alright. I'll shield this. And now, depending on what they do here, I'll play it by ear. Okay, they Shadow Ball, so now I can just outpace. I was going to say, if they evade us, I might consider doing something else. Okay. It's just Azu. That's not Carbink. That's even better for me. If they went for a bait, I was going to go for like a combo play. But since they don't, I can just bring in my Jumpluff here and start spamming out these energy balls. If they do win CMP against us, which honestly, I don't remember who wins this CMP, then they could snipe us down if they have Ice Beam. But then my Empoleon should just close out the back line. And if I do just knock them out here, then they're going to be in such a bad spot, because now Licky Licky has to probably throw a Shadow Ball to knock us out. They top left. Let's go. All right, Malamar lead, non-Shadow. I don't hate this matchup, but it is, like, a little bit awkward, because they can outpace us here to a foul play. Psywaves add up a little bit. But also, it's really not that bad for any Pokemon on my team. If I can just guarantee a shield advantage, or just strip down this Malamar a little bit, that's all I really have to go for. I'll let my Mimikyu shield handle the first move, because even though I will be debuffed, it's not like it really matters that much. Psywaves do start doing a little bit extra damage after that debuff, but I'll get knocked out by the next foul play either way, so I don't mind. Shadow Sneak, maybe I should go for the Poliwrath to guarantee a shield, but no, we do get the bait. So now they're forced to throw energy a little bit quicker than they like, or else they're going to be forced to take a Shadow Sneak. And yeah, they do end up throwing right here. They throw a little bit earlier than they had to, and now they're in range where an Energy Ball from Jumpluff could knock out. I'll just bring in Jumpluff. I'll try my best to whittle this down, and maybe build up some energy for the backline. Sideways don't do that much to Jumpluff here. Energy Ball would basically knock him out from this range. They throw an alignment, maybe thinking I'd go for a CMP. But I just get a full Fairy Wind Sneak, which is honestly pretty good for us. Just staying in here. Alright, we'll throw a little bit earlier than we have to, just to make sure Malamar does go down. If I overfarm much more, they might be inclined to switch out, and I don't want to take a superpower down the line on my Empoleon. Down goes Malamar. Fearow comes in. That is perfectly fine. You might expect this to be a pretty bad matchup for Jumpluff, but saying I have Acrobatics here, it's going to do a lot to them. And then I have a 2 shield, or potentially 1 shield advantage still in the back line. Okay, I do have a 2 shield advantage. Great. And now, I guess I'll just use that against Fearow. Oh my goodness. Or I'll use it against Stunfisk, because this thing's not even going to get to a single move this game. And 2 Hydro Cannons easily knock out. That does so much. I can see why they brought in Fearow into my Jumpluff. I mean, I don't know why they'd ever bring Stunfisk into it, but still. They were so weak to Jumpluff, it's not even funny. Alright, big Hydro Cannon. This knocks them out. They need 3 drill runs now to knock out our Empoleon, and they're not even at 2. So he should be beyond fine right now. And every time they throw energy, they give us a full Metal Sound Sneak, so I get even more energy than they'd want me to. I guess I could try to go for, like, an insane drill run catch on Jumpluff. I feel like that is my one lose condition, because if they call that, that would be potentially bad. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to CMP the Hydro Cannon. And this should knock out the Fearow pretty easily. Alright, I think we got this one here. Malamar leads really good, but it's not good into our team. Hydro Cannon gets the knockout. GG's. Shadow Quagsire lead. Alright. You know, this is always so awkward, because they can just break our shield with an instant Aqua Tail, but it doesn't do that much damage to us. Oh, they're building up. Okay. So my defense hasn't been dropped instantly. So we should be in a pretty good spot where I can survive the next Aqua Tail. They're going to be forced to throw a Stone Edge to knock us out. Alright. I'll go for the Poliwrath here to guarantee a shield or a knockout. Likely we get to see their secondary move either way. And funnily enough, either Empoleon or Jumpluff will wall their energy. Oh, what? What? Why? They had a move! Okay. I'm so... why did they do that? Anyway, keep playing. Keep playing. The game's still going. Shadow Sneak should do a lot of damage to Empoleon. I think no matter what here, I probably want to switch out, right? I don't want to give a farm down over to them. And the Shadow Claws that I got against them probably put them into range where 2 Hydro Cannons knock them out, but I'm outside of range where they would knock me out. Okay, well, Electro Down Energy is just going to lose this matchup. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm at 9, they're at 4. I can get to 3 Drill Pecks before they even get a second Energy Ball off. Yeah, this is looking really good for us now. Jumpluff might not be the best answer in the game to Empoleon, but it's really not bad. The Wild Charge, I guess, makes sense, hoping that I no-shield. But now there's no way they survive my attacks here. And just in case, like, if they shield this, I will throw a Hydro Cannon. It would knock them out one way or another. I just don't know why they didn't throw a move against us with the Quagsire. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't lose that CMP, do I? There's no way they have, like, a 15-0-0 Electrode. That makes more sense. That would have been insane. I was so confused for a second. Alright. We'll let this go. They have to Hydro Cannon us to knock us out. I think Mimikyu might still be outside of range where I'd get Metal Sounded down before I get my next move. Oh, I probably should have swapped there, though. We'll do as many Shadow Claws as we can, just to put them into range where Energy Ball will be enough. If they get to a second move here, that could be kind of bad. Before they're at, like, half HP, that is. Oh, they're already there, actually. Hold on, I might lose this game if I don't survive 2 Drill Pecks on Jumpluff. I mean, I think I do, though. Like, I've been the Empoleon before in this match, but it's honestly not that great in the zeros. I guess we'll find out. It's a learning experience. I guess I'll Energy Ball a little bit early, just to guarantee that if I get a debuff, I get it early. Come on, Jumpluff. I believe in you, buddy. That does so much, but it's not quite enough to knock out. One more Shadow Claw, and they would have been knocked out by now. Non-stab. Would this knock us out? I mean, one Fairy Wind knocks him out either way. Uh-oh. That KOs us. Oh my goodness, I should not have given the farm down with my Empoleon. That was my mistake this game. That's on me. That is very much on me. I didn't actually think that would be enough to knock us out. We'll see Mimikyu into Ninetales, Shadow Ninetales. I mean, I don't have a hard counter to this Pokemon on my team, so I guess staying in here in the lead is not bad at all. Or, I'm going to shield the first. It might be a strange play, shielding a Weather Ball of all things, but not getting debuffed this early on actually helps out quite a bit in this matchup, because I won't get knocked out by the next Weather Ball. Alright, we win CMP. I'm a little bit worried they might try to catch my next Shadow Sneak, because I would get it on CMP as well. Shadow Sneak gets the shield, and Shadow Claws are actually doing quite a bit of damage here. I'll let this go now. I mean, I haven't used my Mimikyu shield yet, so we might as well use it somewhere this game. Big Weather Ball. They got me. My disguise is busted. Incredible. Okay. They actually just stay in and let me CMP them. I was not expecting that. Now they're going to be in a spot here where if they shield this up, they're completely energy dry. And if they no shield, then I still have my Mimikyu pretty healthy. What's going to come in? There's a lot of things that could be in the back. Ninetales is kind of a clean slate of a Pokemon. There's a lot of different Pokemon that pair with it. They're thinking, and I don't like that. Alright, I think I get to a Shadow Sneak here. Yeah, just barely. And I can wall this energy pretty well with Empoleon. And even these Shadow Claws have done a lot to him. Actually, do I bring in Empoleon, or do I bring in Jumpluff? Because now, yeah, they shield. So I probably want to bring in Jumpluff here. Because they have to bait us, and then they have to get a catch at some point to, like, then Ice Beam me after the fact. And I don't think that's going to happen. They do bait, obviously. Like, why wouldn't you? And yeah, there's the Mimikyu in the back line. 5. We should be good here, unless they're on, like, some insane moveset on Mimikyu. Actually, maybe I just stay in here. Actually, I should just stay in, right? Because my Empoleon should close out this game later on. They likely play rough us now. But I think we're good. I think we're good. We'll see. Yeah, they play rough. Makes sense. Does do more raw damage. We'll acrobatics here just to do as much raw damage as we can do. And we'll see just how they can play this out. They're still one away from an Ice Beam here. Yeah, that isn't quite one shot, but that actually gives us like a perfect farm down, potentially. Yeah, they were still one away from the Ice Beam. They could have maybe gone for a Hydro Cannon, but if they did, I think then my Empoleon pretty easily closes out the endgame either way. Energy Ball just snipes him down, knocks out the Gator. We Fairy Wind down the Mimikyu, and we don't even need our Empoleon. Let's go. Okay, Mimikyu into Poliwrath. Dude, that's incredible. It's not actually the best lead in the world. It's not terrible, but they do have Icy Wind, so they can debuff my attack and my defense all in one charge attack here. But since I do so much more fast move pressure than them, and since Icy Wind wouldn't one-shot us anyway, like, it's still really good for us, but it's just weird, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. 5, they have their next Icy Wind now. And I think if I go double play rough, I actually just win, like, the 0 to 1 shield matchup against Poliwrath. They do shield that. Because, like, I survive an Icy Wind, right? I survive an Icy Wind guaranteed. And I'm at my next play rough here in just a second. But I am, like, a little bit concerned. What if they go for a catch? Would they do that to me? They do. You know what? I should have done something about it. I literally said it might happen. And yet here I am, just letting it happen. I'll be honest though, that fast swing pressure, that charge attack pressure rather, is not unplayably bad for us or anything, because now they're in range where I two-shot with Hydro Cannon, and we just learned there I win CMP against Empoleon. Is that helpful? It's not harmful, I guess. Yeah, I two-shot them. They don't two-shot us. They're very weak to electric right now. Maybe a ground, maybe a dragon in the backline, so I'm hoping Jumpluff's in a good spot, but they did have a very interesting lead matchup with that Poliwrath, so I'm not even sure. All right, I know I survived this. I'm going to let it go. Poliwrath, if it comes back in, is going to have to take an attack here from my Empoleon. It's not going to want to take a Drill Peck, right? So we'll see what they want to do. Yeah, they do bring it back in. But for some reason, they don't throw instantly here. They could have gone for a Dynamic Punch or even an Icy Wind bait instantly if they wanted to make this kind of uncomfortable for us. Okay. Oh, is that a CMP? Okay. What do I want to do, actually? I don't know. I guess I let this go. This is going to be strange just because they will be able to easily outpace Jumpluff to a move. So they get the Icy Wind off against us. But I do have Mimikyu as a way to clear debuffs. 5, so they're at 1 now, because they're at 6, because they overfarm 1 against Empoleon. I do want this thing kind of out of the way at some point, but I guess we'll see if they try to catch. Okay, we just get the knockout here. We wait the turn to make sure no swap-outs happen. I do still have my Mimikyu around, but it is debuffed. It doesn't have Disguise anymore, but it can be used as a way to clear debuffs later on if I need to. What's in the back line? Must be like a ground type, or maybe it's a third water type. I don't know. Shadow Dragonair, that's a cool lead. Pretty good for our fairy type to see, but actually our whole team's pretty strong against this Pokemon, which is kind of funny. I'll try to catch an Aqua Tail, because I bet they're going to throw the low energy move just to break our shield. I can't speak English sometimes. Anyway, we catch something. Yeah, just an Aqua Tail, and we save the energy on Mimikyu, which is probably a good thing. But we'll see what they bring in. Okay. Yeah, that's a Spark Lantern. That is not what I was expecting to see. With that said, I do have a Jumpluff that can kind of deal with this. I was not expecting to see Lantern today. Sparks are doing a lot, but do I ever get to like a third Hydro Cannon? If so, then I can at least put this into farm down range. If I don't, and they get the perfect farm down, which they might be able to, then I will be so sad. Okay, I can bank the energy and maybe get to another move later on. They'll go for the Thunderbolt here. It's going to hurt, but we do survive. And we do have our Mimikyu still with the shield. What? Why would they surf? Anyway, they must have thought Mimikyu was coming in. That's good. That, like, gives us a little bit of wiggle room now. Because now that's 2 charge attacks thrown, Switch Clocks are very much desynced here. I have energy left over on Empoleon. Dragonair comes back in. And that's not enough energy for anything big. Could be a Body Slam, could be not a Dragon Pulse, it could be a Wrap, rather. It is Wrap, okay. So we do let that go. And we'll go for the Acrobatics just to guarantee a shield or a knockout. I will be curious to see what the final Pokemon is. I have seen, like, Dragonair Dunsparce recently. If that's the case, it could be kind of awkward. Furret is also not great to see. They might just have enough fast move pressure this game that I could be in some trouble. I'm going for a crazy bait. I probably shouldn't have done this. But sometimes you go for Shadow Sneak baits against Furret. Yeah, I mean, I think no matter what, like, they kind of just farm us down at the end of that game. All right, Mimikyu into Shadow Ninetales. Kind of a scary lead matchup here, just because my team doesn't have a hard counter to this Pokemon. But Mimikyu is actually pretty good in the lead, so we'll see what they want to do. They're likely going to instantly go for a Weather Ball, which they do end up doing. If I had a good way to catch that move, that would have been nice, but most things you catch a Weather Ball on probably would get RPS'd in the backline anyway. We shield just to not get debuffed early on. 5. We CMP. I'd be surprised if he actually clicked Energy Ball. He probably just built up just to see if I was going to try to catch. But either way, Shadow Sneak is going to be able to get this shield. And now I'm going to be interested to see if he tries to catch on us. If a catch happens, that would be probably unfortunate. He's at 1 right now. So it's a CMP on the next move. Okay, looks like no catch happens. Instead, an overfarm by the Ninetales, which does make a lot of sense. I'm hoping once Ninetales is out of the way, I have more wiggle room in the backline. With that said, Empoleon's not the best answer here to a Ninetales. I will let this go, though. They're at 8, so they're at 4 right now. 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have another move ready to go. I'll let the first one through, hoping they're not on a crazy attack here, but maybe they are. No, so they're at 4. They might try to go for a catch right now. No, they don't. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm just going to try to go for a full farm down. Because if they went for a catch right there, that could have been pretty bad for us, depending on what they'd catch on. But if I have energy for the backline, that likely is going to be pretty awkward for them. I should get the full metal sound down. Yeah, so I come out with back-to-back Hydro Cannons here, which is pretty good against most things I could see. Might be Jump Bluff of their own. I know that's a pretty common duo. Yeah, it is. Oh, good catch, kind of? I don't know if I mind, though. Because if I can just guarantee that I land a Drill Peck into the Jump Bluff, don't I just win the game by going for a Drill Peck plus an Acrobatics? And they need 2 Acrobatics against my Jump Bluff to knock us out. So I think the farm down with our Empoleon here has put them into a very uncomfortable spot, because they can't even, like, Fairy Wind us down super easily. Yeah, we just Drill Peck instantly, and they're not even adding Acrobatics yet. I think we're fine. Unless they're on, like, I don't know, Aerial Ace Acrobatics, is that a moveset? I guess it could be. I wouldn't expect it, but I wouldn't put anything past trainers in the Go Battle League. Acrobatics is gonna hurt, but I wonder, is there, like, ever a Wincon and Energy Ball trying to fish for a debuff and then going for Acrobatics? I don't think so. I don't think that does enough damage to warrant doing that, but that'd be kind of funny if that was the case. Yeah, Acro should just be enough here. And I guess our Jump Bluff comes out on top. Man, that was a clutch farm down by Empoleon. I didn't know if that was going to be possible or not, but getting that full metal sound down was so huge in the backline. Ooh, Shadow Primeape. You know, this is always kind of an interesting matchup here, saying I have a disguise, but also, what do we want to do? It might be crazy. I'm going to shield the first move from a Primeape, just to make it so my disguise doesn't get broken. And if they want, they can throw their second move, which does break my disguise. But at this point, my Shadow Claws have done a lot of damage here. And I do want this Primeape out of the way if possible, because I don't have... Well, I mean, I do have a Jump Bluff in the backline that technically is probably fine here. But the big problem with Primeape is oftentimes these are on Ice Punch, especially the Shadow variant, right? I wish I had a way to catch Rage Fist. Maybe they think that Primeape has done enough this game and they just let it go, though. A shield, okay. It's probably just worth a shield in the farm down, though, right? Getting rid of this, making sure my Empoleon avoids this Pokemon, and with the energy I have on Mimikyu, I would imagine it's not bad for us, because they give us the full farm down even. What comes in then? If it's like a normal type, I switch out. Oh, if it's their own Mimikyu, then I guess we see Mimikyu come in, and we get both shields, like the Mimikyu shield and the regular shield, probably. Alright, big Shadow Sneak. We bust the disguise. Or... Alright. Did they actually shield this? Or at this point, do they just let this go? They do shield. I'm going to switch into my Jump Bluff here. It could be a bad play depending on what's in the back line, but I feel like it's probably not a terrible move. Hex Marowak, what the heck? 5. I mean, Acrobatics is going to hurt quite a bit. But this is weird, I'm not gonna lie. If they're on Flame Wheel, that's not great, but if they're on Shadow Ball, this is probably still pretty good for us. They're at 6, so they have Shadow Ball plus 2? They're on Flame Wheel, okay, ow. How much energy is that, though? Oh, okay, they actually just let us get this move. Okay, well, if they're on Thunder, on Mimikyu, this could still be awkward, because then Empoleon does get one shot. But if they're not on Thunder, I should survive a Shadow Sneak pretty easily here. Like, even if they're on Thunder, maybe somehow I farm them down. I don't know. Guess we'll find out, right? Please just don't have Thunder. Don't make me cry. Do they have it? No, Shadow Sneak. Okay, I was, like, gaslighting myself so hard that they had it there. I don't know why, but luckily they don't. And Empoleon just survives. We get the Hydro Cannon off. And this should just knock out the Mimikyu pretty easily. Alright, there we go. That's a crazy team, but I respect it. Triple Ghost, actually. No, well, Primeape plus, like, 2 Ghost types. But, like, Primeape's basically a Ghost type. And that's a 3-2 set. Absolutely incredible. A Lickitung. I miss Lickitung. Back in the day, that was a good Pokemon. Oh my goodness, it's got some knees on him. How can he jump that high? And back up to Expert. Love to see it.